in my opinion, the external hard drive works the best. You can just work off of that, keep it plugged into your computer while you're, editing, and then you can unplug it once the edit is final and you have your final file. That way, it's not slowing down your machine, because it is going to be. Hi everyone, welcome to my 5th video. So I forgot to mention this little handy thing. This is an SD card reader, which I use all the time. I use it to transfer the videos on my SD to my laptop. I will link it down below. I got it from Amazon. Check out the link below if you are interested. And then I also forgot to mention tripod. My camera is on a tripod right now. The link for that one is also down below. I also got it from Amazon. I use it in all of my videos, at least the ones before this. And then what other tools do I use? A little ring light that I don't use all the time. To be honest, I'm finding that lighting is the hardest part of this whole thing. You can tell the progression of my lighting skills on my videos, and it's not getting much better. It's getting a little better each video, but not a lot. So I'm still messing with my camera setting, exposure, white balance, ISO, and all of that. All of that is new to me, so I'm still working it all out. And also I have a little tiny ring light that's behind my camera that I'm using right now, which I got from Amazon. The link is down below if you're interested. Trying to think if I forgot anything when it comes to tools. Tripod, camera, editing software, storage. If I forget anything, I'm just gonna link it all down below. It's gonna be under camera here. So what else? The objective of this video is to share with you guys more on the tools, and also what I'm using or planning to do on this journey. So a part of that is the legal side of things, which is the structure of your company. As a YouTuber, we are considered independent contractors. And from my understanding of independent contractors from my previous jobs, we get issued, or we issue contractors 1099s. We fill out a W-9 before we get paid, or when we onboard. At least at my previous job, when we onboard a new vendor, we have them fill out a W-9. This will have their names, tax identification, whether that's an SS or an EIN. And then at the end of the year, last year, I believe, for at least general contractors, it was $600. I would have to check the IRS rules, but I believe if a company paid out a contractor $600 or more, the company is obligated to issue a 1099, so that the contractor could use that 1099 to attach to report their income for that year. So it's kind of like if you're privately employed, it's like a W-2. But this one is a 1099 for independent contractors. So with YouTubers and other YouTubers, Instagram, TikTok, and what else? Is that all? That's the main ones, right? So we get issued a 1099, and I believe the threshold is $400 for everyone that made $400 above. Check the IRS rule book. They do update it every year. I believe it's $400. If you made $400 from a platform, social media platform, they are obligated to give you a 1099. So when you get that 1099, you file it at the end of the year when you report your taxes, right? So with YouTube and being sole proprietor, an individual business, we are automatically an individual business owner when we choose to go the independent contractor route. You can choose to go the LLC route. I am not an expert on all of this, but I do know from, of course, my work experience and some business classes that I took. An LLC is a lot more, it's less risk with an LLC, right? So it protects your personal assets. An LLC protects your personal assets from a possible, let's say, for example, a lawsuit filed against your business. If you're a sole proprietor, they can go after your personal assets. If you're an LLC, your personal assets are protected. So that's the main basic difference between the two. There's a lot more to it. Do your research, but that's the basic thing. So an LLC depends on which state you live in. Here, where I'm from, the filing fee for an LLC at the Revenue and Taxation is $250. You can go on the internet and get the articles of incorporation documents and other documents, the templates online for free if you wanted to do it yourself. But I highly suggest talking to a lawyer. So here, when I did my research and calls, the lowest one that I got was between $600 to $700. That's from a law firm. They will help me file for an LLC, do all the documents and all of that. But before that, they advised me to talk to an accountant because there are two different kinds of LLC that I know of. It's the C Corp and the S Corp. So the difference between those two is how the income is taxed. How the income is taxed. Boy, I'm hoping it's a byproduct of all of this. I learned how to speak better. I'm definitely not a public speaker. So hopefully, let's see if I get better. Watch my progress, guys, and let me know. So where was I? Yes, so talk to a lawyer, talk to an accountant before you talk to a lawyer, and then talk to a lawyer, and then they'll do your documents. Hopefully it's not so expensive where you're at. And then from there, you file it at your Department of Revenue and Taxation, and then you will officially have an LLC. I haven't done much research on it, but I think the difference is when we think of tax savings, if you're doing it under an LLC as an S Corp, there is a difference in the amount of tax you're going to pay if you're just doing it as a sole proprietor. And I think it's lower as an LLC. So that's also, a good benefit aside from the protection it'll give your personal assets. What else? What else, guys? So the date of recording, as of the date of recording of this video, today is December 24th. I do not have an LLC. I am a sole proprietor. I am still actually employed. My employment won't be terminated until December 31st. So I'm waiting until January to get all of these videos out. And I think it's just, it's just a good start. January, start of the year, clean slate. I have all the time that I need to be doing this. So I'm waiting until January to pursue an LLC or go with, do that whole process. I am in talks. I have talked to a lawyer, which advised me to talk to an accountant. And I've spoken to the accountant. Because of the holidays, we will be reconnecting in January. So the next step after you figure out all that legal stuff is the accounting stuff, tracking, right? So I'm pretty sure the accountant I'm talking to will be able to give me more tips and tricks and advices when it comes to this. But I do have an AS in accounting, and a lot of my career background, I would say, yeah, basically for 20 years, I've touched areas of accounting in all those 20 years. So I do know QuickBooks, so I could, there's no learning curve for me when it comes to bookkeeping and tracking, since I've done all that in my privately employed years. I recommend QuickBooks because that's the only one that I know that I've used to. I've also used Peachtree, but I'm not as well versed in that as I am in QuickBooks. So all the websites that I mention in my videos, I will try to link all of them down below so you guys can check them out for yourselves. But if you don't have, of course, this all takes money, right? We're injecting capital into our business, which is the channels and the equipment and the softwares and everything. If you don't have much capital, track it manually. Google Sheets is free if you have a Google account. You can do Excel. You can do it on Excel if you have an Excel sheet. You can do it, write it down on a notebook. Track all the expenses you've spent for the channel, and as much as possible, use a credit card or debit card to do it. As much as possible, don't use cash, because at least with a credit card or a debit card, you can track it via the bank statement. So in case you forget to write anything down, or put a note in your Excel, in your notebook, you can look at the bank statements and see if you've missed anything. So that is my tips for you today. Again, the objective is just to share the tools that I use, which is on this video, we talked about the SD card, the tripod, the legal stuff, which is determining your company structure, and the taxation part of it all. Talk to an accountant. When I do learn more about that, when I go through the process, I will share it with you guys, because I know, not all of us have the capital to be doing all these, from the beginning. So don't worry, I will share my experience with you guys. That is it. Today's December 24th. This video won't go up until, I believe, the 11th. So until then, you guys, bye.